Go see my ones, go see my guns. Get it? Then tell Papa hit it, then split it. I'm not sure who's going to be on this live stream tonight, but ladies, classy ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Ooh, let me go ahead and move on over. You know how we do. We at Total Wines and Moors. Welcome back to the channel, classy ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to put lotion on my hands. This is why we don't use Dove soap. Anyway, we're going to get into this. Is a live stream. I'm sorry that my laptop sounds like an airplane taking off. I'm so sorry. I'll try to turn the mic and keep it away from the laptop sound. Y'all just let me know how it goes in audio. If you all join this live stream, you know what? You guys are the real MVP because I did not announce this one. I know it's kind of out of the blue. Some people might be thinking that I'm here to talk about the WNBA draft, and they posted a date for not the WNBA draft, sorry, but they posted a date for the WNBA draft lottery, which is going to be November 23rd. So I'm kind of happy that it's right around the corner. Obviously, they're still working on a CBA 30-day extension that ends, I'm pretty sure, this month. Late November. So hopefully they get it done. I'm not sure where negotiations are going if we have the president of the Players Association signing with another league during negotiations for a new CBA. I don't even want to bring that one up, really. Not yet. We'll talk about that another time. But as you all probably see in the title, y'all probably see in the thumbnail, I don't know. I want to get negative. I want to get negative real quick, but I really just want to talk basketball because I feel like I have a new litmus test for y'all. You know how a lot of rookies, when they come into the league, they come into the different respective leagues, they get drafted, they get asked like these interview questions and whatnot, these IQ questions and whatnot. I'm going to have a litmus test. I have a brand new litmus test because you know what? If for anyone in the WNBA, if you're having a casual conversation with someone, if you want to chop it up with them on social media about basketball, just to test their basketball IQ, I have a question. I have a general question I feel like you all can ask just for you all to see who you're communicating with in terms of women's basketball and their women's basketball understanding or their just general basketball understanding. Here's a question. So if you're going to talk to someone, you're trying to decide whether this person's worth your time and worth debating hoops with, WNBA hoops with, just ask them. Do you think ask them, do you think Sandy Brondello is a good coach? And just wait for the answer. The answer will tell you everything you need to know. Now, I'm bringing this up because New York Liberty Reddit is still posting about Coach Sandy Brondello. Why? I don't know. Yes, she had a podcast interview with Sue Bird. I checked out some of it. I'm going to watch the full thing, but I checked out some of it. And even if I come off as a hater right now, feel free if you want to, you can label me as that. But the thing is not, I feel like it's not hating if you're actually right. Like, I don't have anything to prove. I mean, all her shit is on tape. You feel me? Like, if you want the answer, it's right in front of you. So I hate when people are like, oh, you don't like this person, or you don't like this team, or you don't like this player, or you think this coach is bad or whatnot. And they're acting like it's your opinion. I feel like there gets to a point where it's no longer opinion. Like we're watching the same game. We probably understand it differently, but we all have access to the same things. So to call a person a hater is like, first of all, I don't think it's smart, and I think it's inaccurate. Especially like you can say we might be seeing things differently, or we might have a different understanding of this, and that would probably be more accurate. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of people just, again, you can tell just by if they ask that question, do you think Coach Sandy Brondello is a good coach? And then you'll have your answer as to how much they know about basketball and maybe how much they know about WNBA basketball as well. like back to the point. Reddit, New York Liberty Reddit was posting Coach Sandy's interview, I guess, with Sue Bird on her podcast. Was it Bird's Eye View podcast? I might be messing up the name, or Bird's Eye View. And then New York Liberty Reddit was kind of, I guess, just congratulating Coach Sandy on getting a job in Toronto. Part of me wanted to instigate a little bit, but I find it absolutely hilarious. I'm laughing internally. I find it hilarious. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I might be the only one that finds it absolutely hilarious that Coach Sandy Brondello, for her new coaching position, decides to go to the Toronto Tempo, an expansion team with zero expectations. And y'all think this is a good coach. I feel like she just answered, what was it, Freudian slips? I feel like she just had a Freudian action slip where she just revealed to you what she thinks about her own coaching style or her own coaching ability. She goes to a complete brand new team. If she lauded as or hailed as one of the best, what's she doing running off to Toronto? There were what, three, four coaching jobs open? Seattle, Dallas, the new Portland, is it Portland Fire? Yes, the new Portland Fire team. Why do I feel like Portland just keeps giving their women's teams the same name? Am I tripping? I might be tripping. But Portland Fire and Toronto Tempo. Now, in Coach Sandy's defense, I'll be the first to say, Toronto is a great city. I like Canada. Canada, to me, is second home. I love Toronto. I heard it's changing a lot, but every time I've been there, I've had fun. All right, I love Toronto. Great city. I think it might still be a decent place to live. Okay, so if you are being brought by the allure of the city, I'll give you that. All right. As a coach, you know what they do say as coaching? I remember Phil Jackson. Steve Kerr told who was it that was interviewing him? I forget who was interviewing him. It might have been an ESPN interview, but Steve Kerr told the person interviewing him that Phil Jackson told him, if you're going to coach or if you have the opportunity in different destinations on where you want to coach, go where the talent is. Fair enough. Coach Brondello goes to a team where she the first signing. Coach Sandy goes to the team where she and the front office members are the only people there. You guys are hilarious. The fact that New York media, I've never seen a coach get so unscathed by their own local media. Like, she had a force field around her. And this was, I'm talking before they even won a chip. Before she even won a chip in New York, she had a force field around her. After she won a chip in New York, that force field just got even stronger. And the crazy thing is, people had to deal with that. People finally had to come to terms with, oh man, she effing up just because of the season the New York Liberty had this year. Y'all don't find it funny that this top-notch coach, y'all all praising all the damn time, talking about, oh my God, how'd she get fired? Now, I get it. Some of those comments are probably just people being reactive for no reason, right? But everyone who genuinely thinks she's a good coach, y'all don't find it funny that Coach Sandy, they usually tell coaches, go where the talent is, and she goes to a team where there are no players. Hilarious. Shorty goes to the team with no expectations, as in if they win a lot, she'll look good, i.e. Coach Nakase. If they lose a lot, oh well, it's an expansion team. What do you expect? They don't have all these players. They're doing the best. She goes to the place where it would be a win-win situation for her regardless. That is hilarious. And I have an article I'm going to read on this stream right now, which is going to, I saw it pop up. I saw it pop up on my news feed, and I was just like, let me watch this. Let me watch this. Let me read this. I read a little bit of it, but I said, you know what? I'm going to read it on stream just so y'all can hear it. So from the headline, I read that Coach Sandy turned down one of the biggest contracts, or probably the most money, I believe, coming from Dallas. Turned down the most money coming from Dallas to go coach the Toronto Tempo. This shit's so, y'all do call it hating, but you guys have to be the ones to be observant. Y'all have to open your eyes. There's no way you think this old great coach is running to a different country to coach. That is, if that doesn't just explain to y'all. And, oh, and by the way, for all the people that were hating on GM Jonathan Kolb, y'all can go ahead and apologize now. Why? Because Coach Sandy took a team in Toronto, took the expansion team in a different country. Absolutely. That is the exact, if y'all don't understand GM Kolb's interview, his exit interview, this is exactly what he was talking about. This is exactly what he was talking about. He talked about lack of innovation, lack of evolution. He wants a coach that's going to basically bring or modernize the game and run with the times. This is exactly why he got rid of Coach Sandy. Exactly why. Because here she is running to the place of least resistance. That is hilarious. You turned down no taxes. Hell, you turned down one of the biggest coaching salaries. You turned down a chance to coach one of the generation's best player, or the best player, probably the best player of her generation, to go coach a team that hasn't even been set up yet. Hilarious. Tell me all y'all want. Please tell me all y'all want about how Coach Sandy a good coach now, right? Tell me this shit ain't funny. This is hilarious, and I'm just here to tell y'all I am not surprised. I am absolutely not surprised. She low-key turned down two generational talents. And now I know Seattle Storm gave that job to Sonia Rahman, but now I'm thinking, like, I wonder if this article will tell us who she interviewed with, because there's no way. I feel like there's no way Seattle just picked Sonia Rahman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Coach Sonia Rahman over Sandy Brondello, unless they have some intel and they probably think Coach Sandy asked too. But if they're of the mindset that Coach Sandy's a good coach, there's no way they don't go for her. But the crazy thing is, I haven't gotten, just off social media and the announcements and everything like that, I haven't gotten the vibe that Coach Rahman was leftovers or like second pickings. I haven't gotten that vibe from Seattle. It seems like they're actually happy with Coach Rahman. Like they were locked in on her ever since she got to New York. That's just the vibe I got from them. Not saying that they didn't probably talk to Sandy, which is why this front office sports article is so important. But I just feel like Seattle was like they like who they got. You know what I'm saying? They like who they got at the head coaching position. However, I find it hilarious. I'm not surprised. I've been trying to tell y'all for how long now? For like over 2 years, or maybe just about 2 years. I think over 2 years. I've been trying to tell y'all. She turns down a generational talent in Dallas. Also turns down a generational talent in Seattle. She actually has talent around her in Seattle. Now, in her defense, a lot of things are going to change in the WNBA in the season 2026. Everyone's a free agent. You don't really know where everyone's going to go. She might have a little pull power in Toronto, new expansion team. Some people are kind of familiar with Toronto as a city, as a living place in Canada. Some players might want some citizenship there. And also with all these players, I think, except Lexi Brown and Kalani Brown being on contracts, there are some Canadian players in the WNBA that might want to go to Toronto, that might want to go and play for the hometown team. One I'm thinking about right now is probably Bridget Carlton. I was thinking about someone else and I just forgot. Maybe, who knows? Does Kia Nurse still have a spot in Chicago, or does she want to go play with her Canadian team? Who knows? you know what? I'll give you the allure of the city, and I'll give you the fact that, you might have some pull power in Toronto. However, I still see it. I still see it. I still see that you scary. You super scary because you could damn well go to Dallas, who is not giving up Paige Beckers, or you could go to Seattle, who is not giving up Dominique Malonga. You could have gone to Portland and stayed in country. You still had an expansion team. Nah, you left the country, bro. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Let's go ahead and read this article because the fact that everyone tried to jump me when I told y'all she weak, and then everyone tried to jump GMK when he told y'all in the most professional way possible. Definitely the most professional way possible. He told y'all that she weak. Y'all tried to jump him too, and look where she ended up going. To the weakest destination. If she's so hyped, bruh, she's such a good coach, she goes to an expansion team. Right. Okay. Let's read this shit, bro. Sandy Brondello, Front Office Sports. Who wrote this? Annie Costable. Shouts out Annie Costable. Sandy Brondello turned down more money to coach Temple. The WNBA expansion team still made Brondello one of 3 known coaches in the league, earning 7 figures annually. So she's still getting paid, but let's see what Annie Costable talking about. All right. Once she hit the market, every franchise with an opening came calling. Damn. Okay, so here's the thing. Everything I just said, I presumed, right? Now we're getting fact. Every team. So Coach Ramon was second pickings. Now, again, what I said about her still stands. Even though I knew they probably, shot their shot at Coach Sandy, they're still happy with Coach Ramon being there. I'm still with that. I get that. But Seattle did call Coach Sandy Brondello. Dallas did call Coach Sandy Brondello. Portland did call Sandy Brondello. Once she hit the market, every franchise with an opening came calling. Toronto came calling as well. The Dallas Wings fired first-year head coach Chris K. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll try not to butcher it. Days after Brondello became available. The Wings, Seattle Storm, and Toronto Tempo were ultimately the 3 WNBA franchise Brondello received offers from, according to multiple sources. Trust me, bro. Oh my gosh. You guys, if you don't, some people just don't know ball, bro. Some people just don't know ball. Y'all need to apologize to to GMK. Y'all need to apologize to GMK, bro. Some of y'all just don't know ball. I find this absolute. Trust me, I'm not rolling on the floor laughing, but I find this so funny. This is hilarious, bro. Just like any other top free agent, Brondello had to outline her priorities. For some, the top priority is locations. For others, it's the money. Then those who only care about the fit and winning. In the end, Brondello fell into the latter category. Despite receiving a more lucrative offer from another WNBA suitor, according to multiple sources, trust me, bro, Brondello accepted the Temple job because of the collaboration she felt with the team's front office. They the only ones there. What the fuck? They the only ones in the office. What are you talking about? She felt with the team's front office. They kissing ass. All right, so I already know what Toronto Temple front office think. They think Coach Sandy knows what she's doing. That says a lot about your franchise. You got Coach Sandy Brondello at the head of it. You think she knows what she's doing because of the collaboration she felt with the team's front office. So what? She accepted the job because they offered her the job? What? They the only ones in the fucking building. What are they talking about? Because of the collaboration she felt. So Toronto doesn't know ball. Toronto, y'all could have done. I'll leave that alone. Toronto definitely doesn't know ball because they just hired Coach Sandy Brondello. Yes, if you hire Coach Sandy Brondello, you don't know ball. There's no way you watch what she did with the New York Liberty and think, oh, we need that coach. There's no way. You probably just didn't watch the New York Liberty. But I find that, bro, this is the place I wanted to be, Brundello said. To build a team from the ground up, that really excited me. Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure because having the pieces in place already definitely ain't your forte. Having a super team definitely ain't your forte. Maybe your strength might be building from the ground up. Maybe you're just not good when all the pieces are handed to you. In your defense, go ahead, rock out. Maybe you are Bob the Builder. Maybe you just need to. Maybe you're a Lego enthusiast. Maybe you just need to build from the ground up. You know what? Even though I'm being sarcastic, I can actually. What if that's what it is? What if Coach Sandy Brundello is just not good when pieces are given to her? Maybe she's better, or she understands the game or her team better when she gets to build them herself. But the crazy thing about that is she literally had a hand in putting together that New York team. So we could make the argument she don't know what the hell she doing. No way. That's hilarious. Let's keep reading. The exact terms of Brundello's deal were not disclosed per team policy, but multiple sources told Front Office Sports nice pop-up. Great pop-up. I'm a lesbian too. She is signed to a multi-year contract that pays her 7 figures a year. These coaches getting mad bread, and these players are still. Yo, I'm not trying to pocket watch, but I'll be real. Shorty not worth no 7 mil. Sorry, 7 mil. Imagine she was getting 7 mil. Shorty not worth no 7 figures. What are you paying 7 figures for hot potato on the perimeter? You're paying 7 figures for handoff around the perimeter. You paying 7 figures for a 2K quick action play. Hilarious. This will make her one of the highest paid coaches in the WNBA, joining the Phoenix Mercury's Nate Tibbetts and the Las Vegas Aces' Becky Hammon as the 3 known coaches in the league, earning at least $1 million annually. The only person that really deserves that money is Becky Hammon. The only person that really deserves $1 million contract is Becky Hammon. She's in the middle of a dynasty. Coach Tibbetts, maybe he's working his way into that value because he did get to the finals. Good for him. 2 thumbs up. But the only person really worth millions of dollars at the coaching position is Becky Hammon. But I find it really stupid because I watch Coach Quinn. Yes, I gave her flack too. A lot of the community gave her flack. But the thing is, Coach Quinn actually coached her ass off in the playoffs. At least in this series. At least in the series against the Aces, who were the eventual champs. She actually did coach. She coached her ass off. She put her team in a position to win multiple times. Multiple times. The substitutions with Wheeler, putting some trust in Dominique Malonga, even though you should have seen that from last year in France, 2024 Olympics. Oh my goodness, some people just don't watch ball. But even with Coach Quinn's flaws, even with Coach Quinn's flaws, she still put her team in a position to beat the eventual champs. And if not for Ezzy Magbagor running into no man's land, Gabby Williams running into no man's land, Skylar Diggins forgetting that she's left-handed, she probably still has her job. But you're telling me a coach that I actually watch coach, a coach that does not spam the same play over and over, is out of a job while Coach Sandy Brundello gets paid millions of dollars to coach an expansion team. There are a lot of franchises out here that just have absolutely no clue what the hell they're doing. Tibbetts was reportedly the highest paid coach in the WNBA in 2025, with the salary exceeding $1 million. While Hammon was hired in 2022, she became the first coach to earn $1 million salary. I'm pretty sure she's chopping up that money, which owner Mark Davis confirmed at the time of her hiring. She has since led the franchise to 3 WNBA titles in a 4-year span. Davis alluded to Hammon being the highest paid coach in the WNBA in October after his team swept the... No. 4 of the 4 of the 5 WNBA coaching vacancies have been filled, with the Liberty holding the last opening. Yeah, so we still don't have a coach, and I'm 100% fine with that. We don't have a coach. We don't have an assistant coach. We don't have our second assistant. We don't have our first assistant coach, and we also don't have our second assistant coach. Shouts out, Coach O'Brien. He holding on. He holding on like cliffhanger. I know I don't personally know these people, but I promise you, I have to judge you off of what I see on the bench. I have to, same way how we judge players according to what we see on the floor. I gotta, if I'm going to critique you, I gotta judge you off of what I see on the bench. And I'll be real, during these times where I watched y'all, the entire coaching staff, the entire past coaching staff, during the last 3 seasons I've watched y'all, I personally don't know what you guys do. There are some assistant coaches in the NBA, and yeah, sure, they probably are trying to work their way up in the ranks and get that interim coaching spot, head coaching spot, or whatever. There's some assistant coaches that you think are booted up the way they're just bouncing off the bench to call travel, to call a violation, to call 3 seconds. Yeah, probably some of them are showing out again because they're trying to rank up, but at least they do it. Our bench, our assistant coaching bench, our coaching bench had to be the least lively coaching bench I've ever seen in the league. I gotta judge you off of what I see, because I'm not even the type of scout. I'm not the type of person that just watches the game. I watch everything around the game, and I damn sure watch coaching. I just watch the bench in general. And one thing that would always confuse me, even last year in the finals, game 1 of the finals, it's clutch time. Our players are sitting down on the bench. What are we doing? What are we doing? Multiple travels happen in front of our bench. The coaching staff they just sit there. They watch Sabrina Ionescu commit the most egregious foul in basketball history, and they just sat there and said nothing. So for whoever's left on our coaching staff, for y'all to still have a job, you guys need to play the lotto, because you might be the luckiest at Bedford. Because the way Jonathan Kolb going, I'm kind of surprised he just hasn't let go of the entire coaching staff. From a personal standpoint, I would hate to see that happen, but from a basketball standpoint, I'd understand. Because what you keeping around one piece for if most of that coaching staff was rotten, technically speaking? You already got rid of most of it. Why do you still have any part of it? We don't have a last. We have some candidates we're lining up. I wonder. You know what's crazy though? I also haven't seen if Coach Quinn was interviewed for the Liberty job. That would be something. I'm still not sure how I feel about Coach Quinn, because you know what, she's giving me Coach Reeve vibes. I feel like she and Coach Reeve flip dynamics at different times in the season. For instance, Coach Quinn is damn near mediocre sometimes in the regular season, but in the postseason, she flips this switch to where she's just making all the right calls and right plays. Still has her flaws, sure, but she's clutch. She's actually clutch. Coach Reeve does all the right things in the regular season, gets to the playoffs, gets to the postseason, and starts mucking up. Starts effing up. None of the right calls. All of the wrong decisions. She's not clutch. So I'm wondering now. I haven't seen anything from the Liberty standpoint. Y'all can let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat. Let me check chat real quick. I don't know if y'all can let me know if y'all seen anything with the New York Liberty interviewing Coach Quinn. But I do know that we've interviewed Coach Lindsey Harding from the Stockton G League. I feel like I really want Coach Harding to get the job, but I'm wondering if we've interviewed Coach Quinn. That would be very interesting. Portland Fire. I'll pull up the. Yeah, okay, actually, it's pulled up right here. Former Liberty assistant, just to finish this article, former Liberty assistant Sonia Rahman was hired by the Seattle Storm, and while the terms of her deal have not been disclosed, league sources told Front Office Sports that her multi-year deal has a high six-figure yearly salary with the potential to eclipse $1 million with bonuses. That's not bad. The Portland Fire went with NBA assistant Alex Sarama, and the Wings hired longtime college coach Jose Fernandez. And I'm pretty sure Coach Fernandez is coming from USF in Florida. That should be interesting for Dallas. For Portland Fire, I don't know enough about them. Alex Sarama, don't know much about him either. Wasn't he coming from, which team was he coming from? The Trailblazers or something like that? I forget. But I feel like that Portland situation gonna have a. I feel like that might be a little stepping stone situation. I feel like that might be a little stepping stone situation where it's just like, oh yeah, go coach in WNBA, and then we'll call you back here. I don't know, actually, because he was already an NBA assistant coach, so maybe he just uses this to show that he can be a head coach. Anyway, Liberty, we still have our coaching spot open. We still have a couple of assistant coaching spots open. Hopefully GM Kobe emails me. I could definitely take one of these scouting positions, that's for sure. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, Coach Sandy makes me laugh. This shit makes me laugh. But it's reckless. It's reckless. All four of these spots have been filled, but Coach Quinn doesn't have a spot in the league. I can understand Seattle starting over, but I don't. What do you all think? Like, Seattle starting over is kind of. What do you do when it wasn't your coach though? Was it your coach? It really wasn't your coach. Not when it mattered most. Your coach actually put you in a position to win. Do you say, F it, let's run it back? Obviously, you want changes, and they probably could improve. But what do you say to that though? Do you put that on coaching? I don't know if you can put that on coaching. Because I'm thinking about Gabby Williams helping off of Jackie Young and Jackie Young getting the offensive rebound to win the game. And I think about that play a lot. Because Gabby it's not that Gabby ran over to go and help side. She ran to help side and then continued to run up to Asia. Asia already picked up the ball and already started her shot. And she kept running towards Asia. I'm like, Gabby, I feel like if you just didn't run that extra couple of steps, you might have been back under the paint to maybe get a much better contest on the Jackie Young layup or possibly get the rebound or deflection to a rebound. Like, what told you to continuously, like, you ran over there, boom, you were in help side, cool, Asia's picking up the ball in her shot. She's going into her shot, and Gabby's still running at Asia. Is that Coach Quinn's fault? Should Coach Quinn be out of a job because of that? I don't know. I don't think so. That's just a tough way to lose your job. In my opinion, it's a tough way to lose your job. Okay, let's get into this other part of the live stream where I want to talk about the Bron problem. And I'm just going over some NBA basketball, even though I could make a whole video out of this, or I might just make this a video. Why is everyone surprised that the Lakers are playing well without LeBron? I don't feel like anyone should be surprised by that. Bron has always been this. Remember they talked about Bron being passive aggressive and whatnot. A lot of these players, Jeff Teague already told y'all, Kobe wanted him to come play with him, but Jeff Teague was like, nah, I didn't want that pressure. I didn't want to play with Kobe. It's too much. It's the same thing with Bron, bro. Like, the players see that Bron sometimes just sometimes he does too much. I know some people call him a diva. I don't want to call him a diva, but sometimes Bron be doing too much. He just does too much. But he also has this attitude about him that these players play down to Bron. Just because of the sway and the swing power that he has, they play down to Bron a lot of the time. The problem with most of these LeBron-led teams or these teams that LeBron is on is that there is no player to cuss him out. No one would dare. No one would try LeBron like that. And that's the exact problem. But it's also the exact reason why the players are playing so freely. Sometimes the best player isn't, sometimes your best player brings that pressure with you. Brings that pressure with them. Right? And to me, it's not really a healthy pressure. It's more of it's kind of an unhealthy pressure. It's like a negative pressure that LeBron brings with them. It's not something where it's just like, oh, we're all going to rise to this challenge. It's more like that pressure of if I don't show up if I don't make this three when Bron passes me the ball, I know I'm going to be slandered on social media and my contract value is going to drop immediately. This is all coming off of a LeBron pass. You see what I'm saying? It's an unhealthy pressure. You get what I'm saying? Luka could dime you up, give you one of those crazy passes, one of like them Jokic-esque passes, just one of those wraparounds. If you miss, you F up Luka's pass. If you miss a three-point shot on a LeBron dime, it's because your ass. Your ass. If you F up LeBron's dime, your ass. If you F up Luka's dime, you ruin Luka's good pass. You see what I'm saying? That's not a healthy pressure. And I don't know why people keep trying to act like that doesn't exist, or Bron doesn't bring that with him, or Bron isn't aware of that shit. As if Bron doesn't leave teammates out to dry. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a consistent thing, but why are we acting like this doesn't happen? Why are we acting like Bron is that teammate? Bron has never, I guess, I wouldn't say never, but Bron's kind of like that leader. It's just like, oh, if it doesn't go this way, it doesn't go this way. I'm not always going to be here to motivate y'all. He will let the dogs attack you sometimes. You feel me? And that's why I feel like earlier in the career, or maybe just a decade ago, there were all those talks about him being this passive, aggressive ass leader. You feel me? So I'm not surprised that the Lakers are doing well. And people saying that they don't need Bron. No, you really do need Bron to be in a reduced role. I don't know why it's crazy for people to think asking Bron to come off the bench is crazy. It might be. But it could also work. If Bron is still giving you 25, and let's look at these numbers because numbers don't mean everything. You also have to weigh whether Bron's impact is still higher than his negative impact, because absolutely he does have negative impact. JJ Redick got these guys flying around playing in a defensive system I haven't seen the Lakers play for some time now. They still don't contest shots the way they should contest shots, but the Lakers are getting after it on defense. Okay, I haven't seen that from 2019, 2020. You're telling me JJ's going to be okay with Bron coming in there and not sticking any defense, being the weakest link on one side of the floor, being gassed on the other side of the floor, and kind of messing up the flow of the offense while also trying to be the ball dominant player that he's used to being? Why is it a fantastical thought for Bron to come off the bench? I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying why are people just completely closed off to that idea? If you're still evaluating his 25, I forget his stats now, but his 25 4 and 5, or 25 5 and no, more like 20 25 4 and 6. If you're still valuing those numbers as good numbers, what's the problem with bringing that off your bench when you already know your second unit could use that? You have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as your two main options, two main scorers. And the thing about them is Luka, yes, he can hunt for his shot. So can AR, but they both play relatively the right way. Luka will get that lob pass to the paint. Austin Reeves, you know, is going to make the right basketball play. If you have this 25, 4, and 6 player, one of the best players ever, if not the best player ever, coming off your bench, isn't that a good strategy? Especially knowing that, okay, let the starters play free. They're the ones that are rolling. Let them play free. The bench unit, you know they have to cater to Bron anyway. A lot of these players cater to Bron whether he's starting or coming off the bench. But at least with the bench unit, it's kind of like he'll have more of that say-so power. A lot of the time, I feel like Bron tries to keep his say-so power on the starting unit, but nobody really wants to listen to him. They just don't. Again, they don't want to challenge Bron. You have to have somebody who's going to challenge your top dog, bro. Because that's how you keep them. That's how you keep them sharp. Unless the top dog is all encompassing, you have to have someone to challenge your top dog. That's the problem with some of these teams. The reason why some of these teams are soft is because they don't have anyone. There's no top dog. Nobody wants to be the top dog. And when you do have that top dog, nobody wants to challenge them. Everyone wants to shut up and fall in line. Sometimes that's not a good thing. Sometimes it's not good to have a bunch of yes men. Matter of fact, I don't even know a good time of when is a good time to have a bunch of yes men. That's never worked out. Never worked out in sport. The problem is that too many players want to acquiesce to LeBron. Bro, you gotta someone like, at least there was Nick Young when Kobe was talking shit. You feel me? You need that player that just doesn't give an F. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't care. Just be like, here's Kobe lashing out at the entire team, calling everyone soft, and Nick Young over here calling himself the best player in the gym. You need that though. You need someone to check that player so that everyone can feel somewhat on the same page. I feel like a lot of the players that play with Bron don't feel like everyone's on the same page. I'm not even talking talent wise. I'm just talking team chemistry wise, team composition wise. A lot of players just don't feel like they're on the same page as LeBron. We're not talking skill or talent. Just on the same page as, oh, I know this player got my back. I know this player isn't going to leave me out to rot. This player is going to sacrifice for me. They don't see that with Bron. We have to be honest about how some star players can take away from the value of some of their teammates. That happens. You can be so good. There are so many situations where that happens. You can be so good that your teammates look like they suck. Right? Your teammates might not be bad, but you're just on this level where your teammates look mediocre, even though they might not be. Right? You could be a great leader, or the right things to say, know how to make a team gel by using half of your star power, half of your talent power. Like there are different dynamics I feel certain star players come with. You can be the type of leader that actually is motivating, that the players around you want to follow. And they know it's not a gimmick. You feel me? It's not something, oh, I'm the best in the league, y'all listen to me, or I'm gonna take y'all to the promised land. Y'all get on my back. No. Some players would be like, why would we do that? Yo, we haven't seen you do this, and that. But there are other players that are just like, I've proven to you that I know what I'm talking about. I've proven to you that I can carry y'all if y'all need it. I've proven to y'all if I give y'all a little space to operate, deliver. But even if you don't deliver, I got you. Just know next time I'm getting the ball. There are different leaders and different star players like that. And I feel like for the longest time, Bron has always been the star player that will leave his teammates hanging. You feel me? It's just Bron out there playing politics on the court. And I feel like a lot of players do not necessarily like that. I'm not saying they don't like him, but they just don't like the fact that they feel like they can't fail when they're playing with Bron. That's an uncomfortable feeling to be in. So no one should be surprised by this when you have Luka and AR, especially playing the way they're playing. No one should be surprised that the Lakers are rolling without LeBron. But we have to be honest. Like, you have to start being honest about how LeBron's stardom comes with its flaws. It comes with its negative side. I don't know how many times I swear I changed channels before when I watched Bron argue with a ref back to back to back possessions. I changed channels because I'm just like, when does he keep it? When are you going to keep it about the game? I'm getting you're kind of using some of your sway power, but your superstar power, but when do you keep it about the game? When are you just focused on your team and not necessarily what's going on with you? Sometimes, maybe, let's just say in his defense, it's not malintended, but sometimes people could think that Bron is just all about himself. If it gives off that he's all about himself, his teammates, again, you're not necessarily boosting team morale and team chemistry. We got to stop pretending that certain stars, their star power doesn't come with certain consequences or certain flaws or have a negative side that might outweigh some of the positives. Is LeBron's 25, 4 and 6 outweighing some of the negatives of that pressure he indirectly or sometimes directly puts on his teammates? Is that outweighing that negative pressure, or is that negative pressure more than or outweighing that 25, 4 and 6 and highlights and big body and roster spot that is giving mismatch problems to other teams? Like, is that pressure, I'm just using the pressure as one example, but is that pressure just more overwhelming than the positives that he's bringing to the game? And if that is the case, then you have to adjust accordingly. You have to adjust his gameplay accordingly. LeBron, I feel like at this point, he should not want to be on the ball anyway. So if he comes on, starts, y'all want to start a 40-year-old, cool. Make him, he better be the third, fourth option. Matter of fact, I put DeAndre Ayton over. I put DeAndre Ayton as your third option. Make Bron your fourth option. Make Bron your fourth option. Because if, again, just you have to go by what his superstardom brings to the table as well. So let's say your team, the team is playing freely and flowing, playing good offense, playing good defense with him as the fourth option. Why should anyone care? It's only NBA fans that care about oh, this superstar didn't score 35 but they won. Only NBA fans think like that. Only NBA fans will bitch about LeBron being a fourth option, but the Lakers winning. They will somehow argue you down about why LeBron should be a third option. And then he ends up being the third option. The Lakers start to lose, and then they have nothing. Then they'll start turning on the other Lakers. Like, oh, these players aren't stepping up, yada, yada. No, when they were winning, when he was the fourth option, you all complained about it, said it wasn't working. When Tatum scores 20, 8 of 18 shooting, and the Celtics win, they say Tatum should have had more points. Only NBA fans do that, and it's really confusing. I say you put or play LeBron wherever he is that can allow the Lakers to keep running like this so that he is adding to it and not taking away from it. That's my take on the LeBron situation. Okay, I know this live stream is a little bit lengthy. I don't know if I have time to get into the top 25 WNBA free agents, even with my lips this chapped because I feel for water. Let me see. Let's see if we can look at the top 25 WNBA free agents. I feel like saving that for another stream though, or just for another video. You know what? I'll save that for another video. I'll do a video out of that one. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it live because if I wanted to keep it live, I'd want more of y'all in the space because I know everyone's busy. And again, I didn't give everyone a notification that I was going live today. But if you do want my live notifications, or if you just want notifications on this channel of when I do go live, make sure you turn on your notifications on this channel or follow me on Instagram at Hendrix Hoops. I don't even post a lot on that page, but I do post, or I try to post notification reminders of when we do go live. I'll save the top 25 WNBA free agents for another video, but I will wrap this one up. That's all I have to say regarding this WNBA coaching carousel and these topics around LeBron and superstars and what they bring to the league and whatnot, and the dynamics that they introduce to the game. But until next time, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we had a couple of people join the live stream today, and honestly, that makes me happy because, again, I just didn't announce it. But if you're rocking with me today, if you're engaging in the content, dropping comments, all of that, I appreciate it. Hope you guys take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay blessed, enjoy your Friday night. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.